Hi, my name is Emberly Wood, and today I am doing a management analysis of the stuff scene in the movie The Devil Wears Prada. So let's get started. To start off, I'm not going to play the full clip. It's 2 minutes long, but I am going to give a little background on what goes on. Feel free to watch it if you like, or watch the full movie. It's actually pretty good. But in this particular scene, Miranda is making a decision between two belts. And Andy, a first day employee, chuckles at the idea of such a simple decision. But Miranda's response is really what I'm going to focus on, and the attitude of the other employees. You will see how that kind of gives an expected culture. But is that culture really that great? I call it authoritarian. Some may have called it something else, but to me, based on the concepts that we've read in the book, it is very much Miranda's way or the highway. Complete domination. There is no rebuttal. There is no help, and very much a aggressive abuse of knowledge in this scene. Andy doesn't understand that the devil in the details is very serious in the fashion industry. Like I said, it's her first day and she's a writer. She actually has never even been a member of the fashion industry herself, so she's coming into a very new environment. We also see all the other employees just kind of sit back and let things happen, as if they almost know that this was how Miranda was going to respond, or if they had experienced this themselves before. And if this was the situation, that leads me to believe that there's probably a big increase in employee competition because today, most people speak up for their counterparts. They'll say, "Hey, that wasn't really cool," or "Hey, I think you should report them because that was completely unnecessary." But in this situation, none of that happens. Now, when I say authoritarian, it gives off a bad taste, but Miranda is making profits. Her business is successful, and these strategic decisions that she makes, like these details of the belts, sets her apart from her competitors. I saw several articles online that listed adjectives for her business as successful, discipline, order, unity of command, things like that. And that's all great. They sound great, but what is the longevity of the business if the employees are not satisfied? Now, with that being said, Andy also could have done more research on what would have been expected of her in appearance or manners or any of that nature. She could have spoken to old employees if they did not have an NDA, obviously. Or she could have just looked into the company herself and seen some of the employees that come in and out of the building and see what would have been expected. They did not give a handbook in this scene, so we cannot place blame on Andy for Miranda's response, but we can say that she could have tried just a bit harder. Now, in my analysis, I would like to say that there's always a better way, but who's to say that any of her compromises would not have led her business to fail? She's gotten where she has because of the decisions that she makes. Whether people like the way she presents them is a whole entirely different situation. She is successful. She could have made this a teachable moment for Andy and kind of included her into why this detail mattered, but she did not do that and even took a few personal jabs. So, in the long run, um, both of them could have opted to do better, but that wasn't the situation. In conclusion, I also think it's very important to notice that this was a made up scene from the fashion industry today. Um, Even in real life encounters today, we're seeing CEOs and top execs be held accountable for their behavior. Some at concerts, but this movie is not real. We have board members, multiple CEOs, CFOs, um, different teams assembled to help hold everyone accountable. And with that, I mean, even at the end, when you think about this kind of behavior and the culture that it elicits, everyone wants to be successful. So even if you act this way and you get results, people see those results and they're like, well, maybe I should compromise. And I will be the first to say, never compromise your mental health for anyone's job or your own. Find something that suits your lifestyle. And I think that is the biggest suggestion I could have gave to Andy on this first day, was to find something that suited her culture better than the fashion industry. Sure, did she grow? Absolutely. But at what point was this response really necessary? And I thank you for your time today. And that is the conclusion of my management analysis. Thank you.